people have used Drupal alter? Or its more popular form of form alter?
God.
Oh, God. This is beautiful. You guys are with me instead of against me. I love it. Yeah, so it's a Drupal alter. Right? We're all told not to hack core because they're the demons. So we have Drupal alter. Let Drupal build it wrong and we'll let you change it. Right? You want to add functionality to your site? Let's do it twice.
Right.
Drupal and all of the 4,400 modules that you installed are going to do it one way, which of course is nothing like you actually want to do it. Don't worry. That's Drupal alter. You can just go do it again. Right? And, I mean, all the other Rails does this, right? Django does. I mean, like, they all do this, right? No, we do this. And it's ridiculous. Why do you build things twice? How many people have a module on their site just full of a form alter implementation? Yeah. Building your forms twice every single time.
Yeah.
So, it's frustrating. But sort of bigger than that is this sort of issue. And this is one I've lost many mailing list flame war over it. But Drupal is not invented here underlying philosophy. So of course now I have to make a little footnote about jQuery, but that's JavaScript. Who the hell knows how to write JavaScript?
Right.
Right. But yeah, in the Drupal community, we do not use external libraries, even if they solve the problems that we're going to have to solve again. Right. So one of my favorite examples, one of my most glorious losses in the Drupal community was .info files. Right. .info files using the a perversion of the .ini syntax used by PHP, right, amongst others. So it turns out, for those of you who don't know, that PHP has a built-in function for parsing these files. It's already written. It's written in C, so it's faster than anything we could come up with. It's tested. It's how PHP actually parses its own configuration files. Right, so doing .info files, we can use this syntax and just use this parse ini function, right, and we're done. Except, we don't want to use exactly the ini syntax, because we want to be able to do other things like represent, a hierarchical array of our style sheets and things like that. Okay, so the ini syntax is a little bit constrained. So we need some sort of file format that will allow us to do these hierarchical configurations. Have you ever heard of YAML? Yes. Amen. I'm not much of a Pentecostal preacher. Feel free to encourage me. Who knows? Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, like these problems that have been solved, configuration files that do all kinds of nesting hierarchy. That's stuff that's been solved. It's been done. There are libraries out there that do it. They're tested. They already have their tests written. But of course, what do we have in Drupal? Does anybody know how we parse our .info files? No, the code. Yeah, it's our own regular expression that we wrote, not PHP built-in C, optimized, well-tested implementation. No, we wrote. And Stephen wrote a regular expression. I heard the one guy laugh who even knows who Stephen is. Right, and of course there are all kinds of examples. Right, the other very popular one was the XMLRPC library. People remember that? How old are we in this room? Yeah. So Drupal actually used to, and of course nobody actually realized it until the exploit came out. But we actually used to use a third-party XMLRPC library. Of course, an exploit was discovered in that XMLRPC library. Turned out now people were reusing it, WordPress was using it, Joomla was using it. So again, things got ugly. So of course, the Drupal's response to that, let's write our own XMLRPC library. Right? Charlie here? simple solution. If there's an exploit in somebody else's code, we should just get rid of everybody else's code and write it ourselves. Near and dear to my heart, of course, is the fact that I had to write my own OpenID library. And now I've got a whole long list of bugs. Because, of course, we couldn't use the ones that are out there attested and, written by the spec authors and are true. And certainly not the ones that actually use object-oriented syntax. Right? So not invented here. Not invented here is a big thing that as a community, I think we're 5 years late, but I think it's still time to look at it. Do we really need to write every line of code ourselves?
Thank you.
Peter, that is licensing issues. How much of it is licensing issues? Very well, depending on the library. But for most of these things, there are GPL XMLRPC libraries. There are GPL versions of all kinds of things. Yeah, licensing issues.
jQuery was not GPL before React.
Yes. So here's this crazy thing you can do in open source is you can say, hey, we're Drupal, we're not WordPress or Joomla. Well, we're Drupal. We've got some installs. We would love to include your library. We know you're MIT licensed. Can you dual license GPL? John Russick did it, yeah, and that's how we got jQuery. But so very little of it. So the arguments that has usually shot me down in flames and caused me to curl up under my desk and unsubscribe from Develop again. is that well, if we write the code, if Charlie writes the code, then it'll be easier for us to maintain as a community.
No.
Only one last. That completely baffles me.
Right.
And of course, one of the biggest problems is that because we're constantly reinventing wheels and writing everything ourselves, right? We are a big community, but we do not represent a large portion of the software developers in the world.
Right.
And so one of the things we have to do is to bring people into Drupal and to grow this community. We have to put them through a learning curve.
Right. Right. Yeah. Awesome.
They come into Drupal, they install it, so that they get a couple bumps initially just trying to get it installed. And then they look under the hood, and they see some new code. It is PHP code, so it looks sort of familiar, but oh my God, what are they doing? What are all these hashes, these hashes and all this stuff? And of course, then they find us, the little boss. We help them out for a while, but we can't hold on to them forever. So they leave our workshops, and they go back trying to figure out Drupal again, and, I picked on taxonomy module. They're going to run into something that doesn't make any sense. They're going to be trying to implement their site, writing a module, or even just trying to do a theme, and they're going to run into something that doesn't make any sense, right? They're going to hit one of our Drupalisms. They're going to run into the way that Drupal does it. Yeah. And they're going to spend hours, and I mean days, into weeks, and they will have their debugger. If for some miracle they can get a PHP debugger that works, and they will be stepping through Drupal code. They will be 432 stack levels deep in indirection, and they will figure out taxonomy modules just sort of broken. And so, of course, they'll find something else, category module, but they'll find something else to replace it, and they'll work around, and they'll probably just write their own and get back up and running. And probably the most maddening thing is that, frameworks are supposed to just make our lives easier as developers.